Welcome, this is Megan Bradley. This will be a brief talk about the macro imaging that's now capable underwater and how it might change our understanding of freshwater mussels. Genoa National Fish Hatchery and our partners work on the St. Croix means that we're out there on the river about 2 to 3 times a week during the brooding season, which means that we have a lot of contact and time with the animals, which means that with newly improved technology, I'm taking more photographs. And with higher quality photographs, we've started to notice some novel things. Take a look. This is a series of photographs of the mantle margin along the edge of the wing or the mantle pad in Winged Mapleleaf. These are images from 2 days in 2020. You can see here in the top left this mantle, the edge of the periostracum, likely that's folded over the edge of the shell. You can see how far open she is. Down here at the bottom is a blurrier photo that gives you kind of a larger scale image of it. You can see this is probably the periostracum edge. Here in the middle, we've got a shot where you can see where it's actually beginning to hold up that mantle edge. And then over here on the right, you can actually see the kind of cuticle-like material, that fingernail-like material, or plastic-like material, pulled back just a little bit from the edge right here. These are photographs of a pair of winged maple leaf in full display, and you can see the periostracum edge here. You can see the difference in color, and you can see the structural support that it provides for the mantle margin. And then down here at the bottom, you can see where the puffy portion of the mantle, that vesiculated section, is actually being supported by that cuticle-like periostracum. You can see the difference between the pistol grip on the left with possibly just a bit of periostracum support along this edge in comparison to that winged maple leaf. These are a pair of photographs of two different animals post-vesiculation or post-display. You can see this animal, the one on the left, is significantly tattered. It looks like a plastic bag that's been hanging in a tree. And you can see why we wouldn't have noticed that periostracum support, because it's likely eroded by the river very quickly. Up here on the right, we've got a much more pristine animal before that periostracum edge is completely damaged and then worn away. Something else of interest in an animal in full display with some high quality underwater photographs is the crenellation that's formed, and it's formed at multiple scales with winged maple leaf. We've got the animal here on the left. You can see the shell. You can actually see all the way into the organism, and you can see the gills here in the back. This is actually just a cutout of those same gills, so you can see the structure that's formed. We've got further crenellation. You can see even here in the section. And then this is the crenellation along a single papillae. Another really interesting component that came from taking those macro photographs is the realization that there's actually corrugation of the mantle edge. So those papillae are folded almost like fingers. You can see here on the right, those are groups of far more simple, typically just branched papillae, forming these much more complex structures. And these complex structures then give the appearance of our boriform papillae. So you can see here on the left, this is a photograph of an animal actually in the lab. You can see the tree-like structures, but those are actually coming from the folding, the inward folding of the papillae along those edges. Then that leads to the question of what else haven't we seen clearly? Animals that are in the wild, that are functioning in the environment, are probably very different than the structures that we observe from a preserved animal in the lab. While we can look at the papillae structure, we can say that they're simple or complex. We simply can't see what the other structures might be formed as a result of the bending or folding of mantle edges. So I just would like to encourage everybody to start looking more closely and taking more photographs. So I'd like to say thanks. These are just a few of the partners that we've worked with on the St. Croix River, and their time and effort allows us to get the projects done, and getting the project done is what allows us to spend the time on the bottom of the river and take the photographs. And this photograph is, while it's a poor photograph, you actually can see structure that is still different. And so keeping photographs that aren't even the highest quality, that don't clearly illustrate what you were looking to capture at the time, might actually lead to a better understanding in the future. And I say this having looked at hundreds and hundreds of photographs that we've taken over the past 5 years. And it's amazing to go back and see things that you didn't see the first time. So these are a couple of publications that informed my discussion of the papillae, or the mantle edge, or the displays. And then that's some description about the camera that we used for those macro photographs. Thanks.